Okay, so Lewis Hamilton's Ferrari debut. I bet some of you are out there thinking, wait, Hamilton? A disappointing debut. How is that even possible?
Yeah, it's definitely raised some eyebrows, let's just say that.
I mean, the guy's a 7-time world champion.
Exactly.
He's broken pretty much every record in the book.
He really has an incredible track record.
So to see him finish 10th in his first race with Ferrari?
Out of all the teams to have a rough start with.
Yeah, well, it's Ferrari.
It's Ferrari. It makes you wonder what's really going on behind the scenes, right?
That's exactly what we are going to unpack in this deep dive.
It's going to be fascinating to dig into this.
So we're going to look beyond just the surface-level result and try to understand the challenges that Hamilton faced.
The reactions from the F1 world have been quite interesting as well.
They really have. We've got Hamilton's own words.
And some very strong opinions from some big names in the sport.
All to try and figure out what this all means for his future with Ferrari.
I think we've got a lot to cover, so let's dive right in.
To set the stage, Hamilton finished 10th in the Australian Grand Prix.
Which means just a single point.
One single point. Now, this is a driver with 105 race wins,
104 pole positions.
202 podiums.
It's an unbelievable record.
So, yeah, a 10th place finish, it definitely gets people talking.
It's a stark contrast to what we've come to expect from him.
And, you have to consider the whole context of this move.
Right, he's coming from Mercedes after such a dominant period.
And he's joining Ferrari, a team with such a huge legacy and passionate fans.
It's not just about driving a different car, it's a whole new world.
It really is. New team, new culture, new approach to strategy.
And perhaps most importantly, a new race engineer.
Which brings us to the communication aspect with Riccardo Adami.
This is a huge change for Hamilton after so many years with Bono.
Bono beat Bonington. They were inseparable, right?
They had an incredible partnership.
84 wins and 6 world titles together.
And who can forget those iconic "Get in there, Lewis" radio messages?
They were mad.
You can't underestimate how important that bond is between a driver and his engineer.
Especially in the heat of a race when every second counts.
It's like they developed their own language.
A shorthand that allows them to communicate effectively under immense pressure.
So for Hamilton to start fresh with Adami, there's a learning curve for sure.
Definitely. And we actually heard Hamilton's thoughts on this.
Oh, what did he have to say?
He said, and I'm quoting here, "I don't tend to be a driver that likes to face numerous comments while driving. If I need it, I ask." But Riccardo did the best he could.
So he's a driver who knows what he wants and doesn't shy away from expressing it.
That's for sure. He's not afraid to set boundaries.
Especially when it comes to something as crucial as communication during the race.
He also mentioned, "I didn't feel any particular confidence. I will make some setup changes in China next week."
That lack of confidence, that's a key point.
It suggests that he wasn't entirely comfortable with the car.
Which is understandable. It's his first race weekend with a brand new machine.
And then there was that moment during the race itself.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Hamilton came over the radio to Adami and said, "Leave it, please. I'm learning as I go."
It did sound a bit terse.
It makes you wonder if there was some frustration building up there.
It's possible he felt a bit overwhelmed with information at a crucial moment.
Or maybe the timing of the communication wasn't ideal.
But it's important to note that Hamilton later acknowledged Adami's efforts.
He seemed to soften his stance a bit.
Which suggests that he understands that building this new relationship takes time.
And patience from both sides.
Absolutely, it's a two-way street.
No, not everyone was as understanding about this situation as Hamilton himself.
Oh, no.
We saw some pretty strong reactions from certain corners of the F1 community.
The critics were out in full force.
Especially on some F1 blogs.
And some of the analysis was quite scathing.
One blogger in particular really went after Hamilton's performance.
What did they say?
They focused on those moments when Hamilton was trying to overtake Alex Albon.
Ah, yes, the DRS zone.
Exactly. The blogger claimed that Hamilton poorly handled the situation.
And they didn't hold back on the criticism, did they?
Not at all. They even said it was a little bit embarrassing for a Ferrari driver to be beaten by a supposedly inferior car.
Ouch, that's harsh.
Especially for a 7-time world champion in his first race for the team.
This blogger really emphasized the high expectations that come with driving for Ferrari.
And they questioned why the communication issues between Hamilton and Adami weren't sorted out during testing in Bahrain.
They were essentially implying that this shouldn't have been a problem in the first place.
The blogger even went so far as to suggest that the Ferrari pit wall might have been doubting Hamilton's ability to overtake.
Wow, they really painted a picture of internal turmoil within the team.
It shows just how quickly the pressure can mount in F1.
One race, and the doubts start creeping in.
But it is just one race, Ray.
It's a long season.
There's so many factors that can influence a single result.
Track conditions, car setup, even a bit of bad luck can make all the difference.
It's too early to draw any definitive conclusions based on just this one race.
I agree. Let's not jump to any conclusions.
Now, on the other hand, we also heard a very different perspective from someone who knows a thing or two about driving for Ferrari.
Oh, really? Who are we talking about?
Nigel Mansell, the 1992 world champion.
Now, there's a driver who knows what it takes to succeed at Ferrari.
And he came out strongly in defense of Hamilton.
What did he have to say?
Mansell expressed complete confidence in Hamilton's abilities.
He's not doubting him at all.
He praised his intelligence, his motivation, his mental strength.
He believes in Hamilton's ability to bounce back.
Mansell even predicted that Hamilton will rejuvenate in 2025 and return to his peak form.
So he sees this move to Ferrari as a positive thing for Hamilton's career.
He called it incredibly inspiring for Lewis.
And he believes that Ferrari will provide Hamilton with everything he needs to win.
Mansell is convinced that Hamilton's talent will shine through.
That's a powerful endorsement from a fellow world champion.
It just goes to show that there are very different opinions out there about this situation.
The debate is far from over.
So where do we go from here? Well, the next race is in China.
And that's a track where Hamilton has historically performed very well.
He's won there 6 times.
It's his talisman circuit, as they say.
So maybe we'll see a much stronger showing from him there.
It would certainly be a boost for both him and the team.
And let's not forget about his teammate, Charles Leclerc.
Ah, yes. The young rising star.
He's already proving to be a tough competitor.
It's going to be fascinating to watch that internal battle unfold throughout the season.
How Ferrari manages that dynamic, while also continuing to develop the car and supporting Hamilton's relationship with Adami.
That's going to be key to their overall success.
So to sum it all up, Hamilton's Ferrari debut in Australia was definitely a challenge.
We saw those communication difficulties with his new engineer.
And that 10th place finish is a pretty big outlier when you look at his career stats.
It's his second worst debut with a team in the 21st century.
The only one worse was Lucas Badur's 17th place with Ferrari in Valencia back in 2009.
Wow, that's a stat I hadn't heard before.
It just shows how unusual this result is for Hamilton.
And of course, it sparked a lot of debate among F1 experts and fans.
Some are critical of his performance,
While others, like Nigel Mansell, are confident that he'll turn things around.
it's a real mixed bag of opinions.
So what do you think? Is this just a bump in the road for Hamilton?
Or is it a sign of deeper issues?
Is one race really enough to judge his future with Ferrari?
Those are the questions we want you to ponder as we wrap up this deep dive.
This whole situation with Hamilton at Ferrari, it's going to be fascinating to watch unfold.
It's a story of adaptation and pressure and the pursuit of excellence at the highest level of motorsport.
And it raises a really interesting question.
What does this initial struggle tell us about the potential trajectory of this partnership?
Can Hamilton bring Ferrari back to its former glory?
Or will this be a chapter filled with more challenges than triumphs?
Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure, it's going to be a wild ride.
And we'll be here to break it all down for you every step of the way.
So buckle up and get ready for more F1 deep dives coming soon.
And don't forget to subscribe to the F1 Blogs channel for more F1 insights and analysis.
Thanks for joining us.
Until next time,
Keep those engines roaring.
see you later.